What's going on, you guys? It is another episode, the 10th. So, 10th episode of All My Friends Are Grown-Ups, the uncut, unfiltered, and unmotherfucking edited podcast on YouTube. Because it's the 10th, we gotta make it special. We got a little more inspired than usual. I don't think it was on purpose.
No, I don't know who keeps ordering shots, but it's rude to deny them.
Part of it was me, part of it was people that were there that they just know me. And
people.
it was, yeah. There's a lot of nice people, though.
They are, even though they think you're a cop.
Listen, I know. Why does everyone think I'm a cop down there?
It's because you're well dressed. Maybe it's better being called a homo. I don't know.
I don't know. You took a left turn on that one.
Yeah,
it's better being called a homo than a cop. Depends on what neighborhood you live in.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, nowadays, nobody wants to be a cop. Everybody wants to fucking dress like a fucking woman.
Regardless of the reason, we're back.
Ignore me.
It is number 10. Count it, fucking 10 of this bullshit.
Yeah.
We are definitely not under any influences right now.
We are under very much influences.
Yeah. Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk about today, and this podcast might not be very long, but I'm going to have a couple other uploads for us on this channel this week. So, the first one was, I know you're not very familiar with it. I don't think you said you didn't play the game before.
I have not.
But I'm going to capitalize on a little bit of the buzz right now, because it is fucking ridiculous. I checked out The Last of Us. Now, are you into zombie games and stuff?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. Like, you ever play Resident Evil, Days Gone?
Okay. All right, yeah. So, Days Gone, I actually didn't play, but I heard that was fucking great.
It is a really good game. It's kind of buggy. Real great storyline.
Yeah.
It has a continue play that's real fun.
So, The Last of Us gameplay, from what I've seen with that game, is very similar to the, like the integrated fight scenes turn into, you know what I mean? Like, it's flowy with how it goes, you know what I mean by that?
Right.
Like, you get into a fight scene and it's like, you hit certain things and it looks like it's part of the animation of the characters and you know what I mean? Like, it just all flows really well.
Very nice combo.
Yeah.
Combo.
It's not like Dead Rising where you walk around with a sledgehammer and, hit a bunch of zombies. And,
yeah, well, that's a slash. That's slash and bash. That's fun.
Right.
But
that's just like a free roam fun game.
Yeah, so it has like a real free flow of fight, like almost like you ever play Batman. You ever play the Batman games?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah, that's how that is. Yeah. But he should be fine with that light there. He'll be fine. There's a cat behind. He should be fine.
I'm about to throw something at him. He was being a dick this morning for no reason.
Oh. And so was my cat. She kept waking me up every fucking 5 minutes, like literally trying to get me out of bed. And I was like, "What do you want? Like, you want fucking like
feed me, fucker.
Food? You want food, or do you want like fucking like water?" She had food and water. She was just being an annoying bitch.
Oh yeah, well, pussy's a lot of attention.
Well,
she in heat?
No, she's spayed and everything.
They still keep heat.
Well, yeah, they do get heat still.
He still gets humpy. They keep him away from Haley. See, that just goes to show you vasectomies.
She might though. Maybe that's why she presents her ass every now and then.
It's still in there.
It's still in there.
She's still a hoe. She just can't get pregnant. Yeah, it's like most of this population. You all should be fixed.
I'm gonna get back to that because that made me think of something.
Let's just go back to the game because
let's go back to the game, but keep a pin on that because I want to say something on that. But yeah, so The Last of Us, that came out, and I was really fucking excited for that show because I played that game about 6 times over, and the big difference, maybe it's because I have a personal attachment to the biology aspect of it, is that the whole thing with the game isn't like the zombie outbreak isn't a virus. It has to do with fungal infections and how fungi... there are certain species of fungi that like take over ants and take over certain animals and basically zombify them to their will.
It attached to their brain and
right.
Yeah,
so
I've seen studies on that.
That's basically this. That's where this whole thing is different from other zombie things. Is it is a fungus, like it infects people and it's like kind of goes unnoticed for a while until it fucking clicks and
Was-
like the fungus grows
Yeah.
and then
Did it go do that naturally, or does it do it like some guy?
it's supposed to be like I think it's
fucked with the lab, and then it got.
it's species jump. So somebody comes across it,
Yeah.
and then it just takes one person to come across that shit. So it's
It mutates
it's
and,
evolved to mutate to infect humans, and it's basically instead of just honestly, I always said that. I said that before the game even came out. I was like before I went into college because this game came out like right there on the same time. I was like, it would make sense for a fungus to do this more than a fucking virus would because that's just the way they infect. Like eventually they're going to come across something that they need a species jump and then
Yeah, they're a parasite.
and
They
at
need
optimal
the
temperatures,
host.
that's something they wrapped into it. If the earth becomes slightly warmer to where it becomes ideal for fungal like infections
or
to
slightly colder.
yeah, or slightly yeah, exactly. It would make more sense. And that's kind of what this whole thing goes about, which there's like your regular people that get infected, and then there's like spores grow. So the big infection thing is there's spores. It's not just you get bit. Like if you breathe in spores, too many spores, it's gonna infect your fucking insides, and it's gonna grow from within.
Oh, that's
Right. So like it's more fucking terrifying because fungal infections you give off spores and
yeah.
shit. And
You
I'm
know,
like,
walk around like COVID patients.
yeah, and then shit starts like when they get fully infected, growing on them, and you see it's like the whole thing was like it's a zombie infection game, but like to a more scientific approach to it, to which I fucking loved. So, watching this show, I was going into this like, man, I think it's gonna be like I'm like nervous because anytime there's a film adaptation or a fucking show adaptation of a show or of a game,
Right.
it never really pans out very well.
No, it's always
It's
terrible.
always awful.
Very, very rarely does.
So when I heard the casting of it, like you've watched The Mandalorian at all? Very little or some?
No,
Like, okay.
I mean to, but like
Yeah.
the way it was all over the internet, I technically watched it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you probably know a lot of it then. Just
Nobody
from
gave.
that.
To be fair, nobody gave a fuck about the Mandalorian. Everybody's obsessed with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, well, yeah, the rock star of the show is Baby Yoda, but the main guy that plays the Mandalorian plays Joel in this fucking show, the main character.
Okay.
So he's a great fucking actor, like he is. And I saw him and I was like, that's a good fit. And then I thought they did a good fit for the other main the main person, which was Ellie. She's the girl. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, I know who Ellie. I think I know who Ellie is.
But like, there's a reason she's in the show, and there's a reason she's part of the main storyline. I don't want to ruin it for you, but she does a great job. They did a fucking. What surprised me was they did a. I don't know how they were going to capture. When you go to video game to live action, when you're playing the game, there's the constant fear and like surprise element of like, dude, they can fuck up at any time.
Yeah.
Like, and they're done. Like, they could fall into a room with spores. There's things in there called clickers, which I don't know if you know what they are, but the fungal infections take over so much of them that it literally like it blocks. They're here like they have no vision left. It grows over their fucking eyes.
Yeah. So
they literally just go on hearing.
Okay, I fought monsters like that.
Yeah. They're called clickers in those games because they literally just make clicking noises, and when you make any sound, they fucking like listen to it and they come after you in your direction.
Oh, so yeah, the clicking bounces off.
But the first episode, like I didn't know how they were gonna do that kind of like dread all the time, like and they maintained it, and the whole day one breakdown of when the infection breaks, because the infection breaks in 2003. So it doesn't break in a modern setting to where social media is a big fucking thing.
No,
like
yeah,
it breaks in 2003 to where she's like
Stuff
the
like-
daughter in the beginning of the show like sees jets going over and like what the fuck is going on, and then they see all these cops in the streets more than usual. Like it's not like you're on Facebook like, oh, there's an outbreak, like this is happening. It's just like there's no news sources breaking at 2003.
Yeah, social media wasn't at its peak yet. Like,
Right.
I think we still had MySpace.
We might have MySpace, but like there was no news breaking like alert on your phone like, hey, there's an outbreak, your area, get inside. It was all just like news still. It was all you turn on your TV, and if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get news.
Yeah, the good old days.
Right.
Lied to your face.
So like they put that perfectly too, because day one outbreak, the whole scene was phenomenal. There's a crazy scene that, like everyone knows who knows this game. The opening scene in that game, the opening 5 minutes is like heart wrenching, and they fucking nailed it, man. I shit you not. It was like, bro.
They probably found a good director. Oh, who's the director on it? Do you know?
Oh, I don't even know who the director is.
But
I feel like I should
I
prepare
hope,
for that.
I wonder if they.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Because sometimes it's. Just,
I was so
like,
excited for it. I was gonna wait until the end of like how many episodes in the first season to binge it.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what I do. But I couldn't wait. I was like, I gotta watch fucking pilot. Like I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I was like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Whoever did it was. I'm sure good.
Yeah. Like you should check it out. If you didn't play the game, you're gonna be blown away even more so. I think.
I still have. I will. I'll play eventually.
But it is so good.
What's it on? Dude.
It's on HBO Max. If you have Plex, you can watch it on Plex.
I'll watch it on YouTube.
It'll be on a lot of fucking streaming platforms. But it's so fucking good, man. You'll enjoy that shit. You like zombie shit, and you like a realistic take on apocalypse.
I was huge into Walking Dead all the way up till at least season 9.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, I got it.
Like
once Rick left, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Once Rick, see, Negan kept me interested for a while.
Yeah.
And then, because he was a perfect choice in casting for Negan. And then they
I just like Rick's randomness. Like, you never know when the man's gonna snap.
I know.
But his shit always works sometimes.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed it.
No matter what he was doing, if he was like on the edge of fucking losing his shit or just well maintained and keeping that whole group in line, it always worked.
Yeah, and they checked
Andrew Lincoln, that's Rick's name. Yeah. Andrew Lincoln. That's the guy who plays Rick. He's a fucking phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Love it.
Something that he has in common with Pedro Pascal, he's the guy that plays Joel in The Last of Us.
Right.
They both have that fucking face that they can have like one emotionless face or like make one little change and it tells a fucking story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like on it, you're like, dude, that man is into this character. Like he's just there.
Yeah, he's just like
they're so good.
Screaming himself in a mirror, drinking Red Bulls, doing line of coke. You'd be like, yeah, you are that man.
Yeah, like you embody a role, and you're like, dude, you tell a story with one fucking look. Like, damn.
Yeah, just don't kill your cohort.
And there's like I said, like when you watch The Last of Us, that opening scene, the first episode, day one, when everything breaks down, you'll know what I'm talking about with that guy. And I'm like, dude, Jesus fuck. Like, people cried when they played the game. Like, they got so into it and played, and I, like, you get emotional watching that shit, and I think you will even more so. Because you have a connection to the, like, there's a certain connection I don't want to ruin, but there's a connection in the first episode that gets broken that I don't have, that you have in real life. I don't want to ruin it, but I know you have it in real life.
Yeah, I got it.
You probably understand what I'm going already with this shit.
Yeah, I seen once in a video. I think it was definitely that Last of Us.
Yeah.
And it was a woman. She was watching a video of a bunny. It started off with just a cute bunny coming out, checking out surroundings.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh my god, it's the cutest thing!" And all of a sudden, a fucking arrow just comes out of nowhere. Just.
Oh.
And she's like, "Oh."
That's later on in the game. Yeah.
And then it's just like.
Yeah.
The second she went, "Oh," I fucking laughed so hard.
It is so abrupt, I know.
Like when you say crying, laughing, I was crying, holding my ribs, laughing. I watched it 5 more times.
Yeah. No, that's fun. I know what scene you're talking about exactly. That's in the second part. Yeah.
That I don't know. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. But at the same, that being said, I am a good person.
No, that's what I know exactly the scene you're talking about. I know. Yeah. That's like I've second part of the first game.
Yeah, I've only seen it on Facebook. You know what I mean? It's almost like the cut up, the edited version of the Frozen, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And Boys to Men 3. So you want to build a snowman? And it's just Will Smith pointing a fucking gun and it's just like pop. And then the little girl on the home is like, "Ah!" I watched that 13 times. Oh, and it kept getting funnier every fucking single time I watched it.
Bro.
But with that being said, I'm still a good person.
No, I get it. Yeah,
I'm gonna drain.
So you're gonna know what I'm talking about when you watch that.
I'm gonna have to get the game.
The game is dude, you're gonna be lost in that game. I promise.
It's so hard to find a good game.
But here's another thing I had respect for. Usually when they take game adaptations again and they bring it to film or they bring it to a TV show, it's very loosely based on the source material. This show has the feel 100% of the game. from location to location in the pilot episode. I hope it stays the same. Like, I felt like I was replaying the game but watching it, and I'm like, bro, holy shit.
Yeah, it's like all the cutscenes together.
Like, no, well, like, yeah, like certain things, like I remember them saying in the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's fucking.
That's true.
But like the aesthetic,
Right.
like, cause in the, I'm not gonna ruin too much by saying this, but there's a compound they're in the beginning. It's like a quarantine zone and this and that. Obviously, every zombie place has that shit.
Yeah, no,
But they're in a
yeah,
quarantine
it never
zone.
goes right.
They're in a quarantine zone, and the quarantine zone feels exactly like the game did, like down to the T. They end up having to go outside for whatever reasons. Again, I won't ruin it, but as soon as they get outside, I'm like, bro, this is like the game. Like you got the fucking feel of it, like 100%.
It's like the director's like, this is what we're doing.
They're staying true to the fucking source material.
It's like,
and
what we're all doing
is
is you're all gonna go home, and you're just gonna play the fucking game.
And then we're gonna go back to work.
Yeah. And then we're gonna work. Then we're gonna write the script.
It's ridiculous.
It's like they took
it's that good.
It's like they took the script from the game and said, okay, let's just do this, do that, but over here.
And what got me excited, because I was waiting for this show to come out, but what got me excited was when it came out. It came out on 2 days ago, the 15th. And my brother texted me about it. He was like, "Did you watch it yet?" I was like, "No, man." He was like, "Dude, it's fucking phenomenal." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Dude, it's like ridiculously good." And I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and usually when I look at those, it's like either Rotten Tomatoes loves it and the audience hates it, or it's vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they don't know what the fuck.
Either the critics hate it, the audience hates it, or they all hate it. And it was 98% Rotten Tomatoes. It was 99% critics, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" I was like, "All right, so this is gonna be good." You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
Like,
when
it's
when
unanimous
fans,
like that. Like, no.
Yeah, especially when
that close.
Yeah, because it's never either or.
Yeah.
It's always one or the other.
Yeah.
And I'd never look at the Rotten Tomatoes or the reviews. It's because it's always biased.
I usually tend to care more about the fucking audience score than the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, because they're full pompous assholes half the time.
But when the pompous assholes love it and the audience loves it, I'm like, oh, this got me fucking good then. Like, this is...
Yeah.
And it was so good. So I don't want to build it up too much to where you're disappointed, but I don't think you will be. When you get around to watching it, you're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah,
but
I'll probably try to play the game first.
Yeah, I would. I would, because you're gonna get a better appreciation for the show when you play the game.
But I did do that with The Witcher. Like when I've watched.
I've played The Witcher and watched The Witcher too.
I watched The Witcher first, and then I played the game. And either way, it's fucking fantastic.
True.
Like I love.
I don't think you're gonna be disappointed either way you go about it, but
no.
I just know because I played the game like 5 or 6 times over, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Good. I need a game like that.
Yeah, you're gonna get lost
I'm so
in it.
bored of.
When the game is, the storytelling is so good as you're going through it, it's just one of those games. And there's 2 parts. You got part 1. There's a sequel to it too.
Yeah.
And the sequel is just as fucking good. I shit you not.
I've heard that from a bunch of people who play the game.
The sequel is just as good.
I just still won't pay $60 for a game.
I get it.
Very, very rare.
Fucking borrow mine. Would you have PS4?
Yeah.
I'll fucking give you The Last of Us. Play through it.
All right.
Yeah, fucking play through it, man. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you only play Skyrim for some reason. That's my downtime.
No, I have The Last of Us. The copies on PS4. I'll give it to you. You fucking play through it.
I'll play it. We'll do a swap.
I think I have the set part 2 might be on PS5. I gotta check. It might be on PS4 too though. I gotta check it. But I know part 1 is on PS4, so I'll give you that shit. You can play through it.
No doubt.
So yeah, we're gonna cut that part off there because like I covered that. There's gonna be a release that I do individually. I recorded it already. My instant reactions to it, like, it was so fucking good.
Man, super stoked.
Yeah, you got something to get excited for. I highly recommend everybody check that shit out. Like, if you didn't watch it, watch it. It's fucking great. Okay. There's other shit I wanted to get through too.
I want to discuss the Cobalt.
The Cobalt. Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Cobalt mines. Back in the Congo. So I was listening to a podcast. You've heard us talk about the place of work that we are employed at before.
Yeah, the Caucasian bucket.
The Caucasian bucket. I'm gonna rename that place. Holy shit. So the Caucasian bucket sent me down to...
It's because Cracker is racist.
Yeah. And you can't say barrel because why not? I don't know. It's probably fucking offensive.
It's funnier bucket.
Just
fuck it. You know what I'm
saying? That's like our old friend came there at the bar today and fucking called... You still working at the Cracker Barrel? And I was like, yeah, I'm my cracker ass is still working at the Cracker Barrel. I said, yeah, I'm still the cracker at the Cracker Barrel.
See,
She was like, oh, shit, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, I know, but it was fucking hilarious.
it's okay. We are crackers. Honky motherfucker.
Oh, I'm as white as you could fucking get. Like, I know.
Bunch of fucking honkies.
Fucking German Irish, and both of my heritage have drinking problems.
Cracker.
But
Honkies.
anyway, they said
It's like a Tory word. It's like Dave, like ever said where the pimps go back in time, the slaver. He's like honky. Yeah, honky is a racist slur for white people.
The only thing better than honky is whitey or crackers. Those are the only two things.
You know what? I've been called all those things.
I've been called whitey.
It's
kind of the least offensive of the three, I think.
Yeah,
I don't get offended by any three. You can call me any three, but like,
no, I've been called a lot.
I think whitey's just funny.
I've been called a lot of things.
Me too.
Especially when you're like one of two white families in a neighborhood. You get called some shit sometimes.
I imagine you were, yeah.
A lot of gringo.
You probably had a little more.
Yeah,
of the
once I get to the corners, like once I get like the first block, I'm white boy. And then once I get across the street, I'm gringo.
Oh yeah.
Especially when I go to the corner store. I'm definitely gringo. And then when they get to know me, I'm loco gringo.
Crazy.
Or El Diablo
You're like
gringo.
the fucking wrestler. Super crazy. You remember Super Crazy?
I remember Super Crazy.
He's super. He's crazy. He's super crazy.
Yeah, they didn't know what to deal with those guys.
They had no idea.
But,
Bro, I'm gonna get sidetracked. I'm gonna try to go back to the Congo, but that just reminded me of. Do you remember when they had the hurricane? A little sidetrack here to wrestling, real quick. We're not gonna stay on it, but super. Yeah, that's part of it. But super crazy. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
And then you remember.
He used to hang out with the Mexicools.
Yes.
Juventud Guerrero and what the fuck was the other guy's name?
I don't even remember. But do you remember fucking when they had Roman Reigns' brother? Rosie? You know he was his brother?
Rosie, I did not know he was
Rosie was Roman Reigns' brother.
Oh shit.
Yep. And they had him team up with the Hurricane.
Yeah, shit. Superhero in training.
Superhero in training. They called him shit as a moniker, as a fucking bro. Come on, that was his brother. That was Roman Reigns' brother. If you go back and you watch that now,
I knew they were part of the Noah family. I didn't know that it was that. Yeah. I thought they were just cousins.
No, it's his Roman Reigns' brother.
Because I know.
Umaga was his cousin.
Yeah, because they were tag team. What the fuck were they called?
I don't remember. But then they had Umaga, and then they had the Hurricane go with him, Rosie. And they split him up. Then they called him shit.
I still can't remember.
They called him shit.
Yeah, it was
but
it was not a good time for
you get a fucking promotion like WWE to pick you up as a wrestler, and they call you shit. You get paid the money, and you get called shit.
That you're shit. You
try to be the most glorious piece of shit in that ring you can be. That's a hard truth, but it's like, man, swallow your. I would have done the same thing. I would have been called shit and went on TV and made money.
That's true.
I wouldn't deny that.
I've been called shit for free.
I probably wouldn't even have noticed. Like, you want to be called superhero in training? Sure. And then, like, I would have been like, they're calling me shit.
Yeah.
And then I would have been like, I'm making money. Whatever.
What the fuck was that? I know the name. I can't think of it.
I'm making more than a salary job I would make as a chef or a fucking manager or a teacher. So,
whatever. Make more than I do, sir.
Whatever.
And I'm not trying to.
No, I just.
I'm just trying to break the fucking content.
Yeah, no. I just mean like I wouldn't have questioned them if they called me shit on TV. I wouldn't have cared. I would have taken the money and been like, call me shit. I'm gonna be the best piece of shit on earth.
Yeah, and then you get something like if you go with that, and they give you something like, okay, well let's give you something a little bit. Let's bump you. Right. People are digging it.
Yeah. No,
it's like they were Umaga. Was it Final Warning? It's gonna bug me that I don't.
I know. What? Yeah, I don't. I know what you're talking about too, because it was Umaga and it was Rosie before they were Umaga and Rosie. I don't remember.
I think because I remember them being in WCW too.
They were a tag team for about a year and a half or two in WWE.
Yeah, but they were also a tag team
before that. Yeah.
Before that, because they were in WCW, and they had a match with ICP.
Oh, it's in there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And they refused to lose to ICP because they weren't fucking wrestlers. They were just rappers in clown makeup trying to be wrestlers. Even though they have their own promotion, who actually kind of does well. But at the same time, they didn't. It was a tape.
But like the Samoan heritage of wrestling goes back like the pride in that
Well, yeah.
to lose to a, you know what I mean, a team that's just.
Yeah,
I understand it. Like I get it.
I've seen, like, if you go to Allentown.
And yes, we know wrestling is fake. By the way,
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna address this in the comments, but we are fully aware that WWE is a scripted show. We are fully aware that they don't fight.
Yeah.
If I want to watch a real fight, fucking to the, like, you know what I mean? I watch UFC. I want to watch a fight.
We
I
go to your
UFC.
house and watch your parents.
A bloodbath, we'll go there.
Yeah.
We'll go to your parents, or I'll order a pay-per-view on UFC.
Fucking
no, man. Like we understand. So are all the movies that you watch.
Shouldn't even give him the man a shout out.
I shouldn't have, but he's there. You know what? You watch our shit. I appreciate him for watching our shit. To that extent, well, the comments, we welcome that shit. But yes, we're fully aware WWE is scripted. Like, we know. I watch it because I respect the performance and it entertains me.
It's not fake.
And they're athletic as fuck.
It's not fake. It's predetermined.
It's predetermined. You get slammed on a wrestling ring, you're gonna cry like a bitch. If you don't know what that takes. We know they don't punch each other in the face. If they did, their face would be swelled up. You get slammed on a mat and you try to do those athletic fucking, like, you won't be able to do it, and you'll cry like a bitch. You take a bump.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
As personal experience from someone who did backyard wrestling, this shit fucking hurts.
You take a bump.
Yeah.
Most people quit within a fucking day or two because they're like, they can't deal with the welts on their back.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt then, but like a couple hours after the match and the next day,
you bruise and you're like, fuck.
You feel all of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've taken chair shots, Snapple bottles to the head, those tiki goddamn torches. I've had welts across my back for weeks.
Yeah.
I have people to attest to all this, and it fucking hurts. Every submission move hurts.
So all of you saying that wrestling is fake?
Yeah,
bro, yes, they don't actually fight. It's predetermined the winner. But those motherfuckers put their bodies on the line to entertain people. And they're fucking athletic motherfuckers, most of them.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Most people can't do it because you have to remember a script and then perform the stunts.
And when you perform those moves, you're a fucking inch away from a night of terror, paralyzing somebody. You're an inch away from a great night or a terrible night. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing in a ring with,
it only takes one.
Your whole thing is to protect your opponent. Like, when you're doing that, you're putting on a show.
Just ask Draws. If you don't know who Draws is, Draws was a character. It was late 90s, early 2000s, around right about the time.
Bro, ask Stone Cold.
Yeah, he's been dropped. Yeah, you drop up somebody on their head.
Like, he was just an inch and a half away, and he was mispositioned by Owen Hart. Fucking landed right in his head, busted his neck, shortened his career probably by years.
Yeah, if you don't know what a pile driver is, it's where you take your opponent's head and bring him down and put him between your thighs, and then basically just sit down and the idea is you're supposed to drop them on their fucking head.
Idea is that the opponent gets dropped on their head, and you're like, oh,
you're supposed to hold up, and then your thighs are support the neck.
Supporting the neck.
Your head should never come
actually
past
touch. The mat.
And, sometimes you get a sting from it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna stop it. You're a 200 fucking pound man.
Yeah.
But like 1 centimeter off your mat, like the people don't understand that the ring. It's not a fucking trampoline.
No.
It's just a thin piece of foam.
The mat is like,
and it's
fucking thick.
It's planks of wood
underneath with springs underneath.
No, there's no springs.
It's not springs, but it's
the way the wood goes across the thing.
Yes,
and it adds.
It springs up. It's not an actual springs.
It adds the buoyancy to the buoyancy.
Yeah,
like you're still fucking falling on wood.
You're falling on wood.
Yeah, if you're a 200+ man, like it's still solid.
Yeah,
like you give it's a little bounce. It's not really.
I meant to say it's springs because it's not actual springs.
Yeah. I think at one point they did have.
They probably did.
Did springs, and then they adopted the metal frame with the wood.
It's all about how the wood lays, but the mat, the padding on there is like barely an inch.
It's not even.
It's not. Usually, it's not even that. Yeah. Depends on the ring you get, but it's usually not even that.
I never used the ring. I always did like in your backyard. I used the ground and chain link fence.
Well, yeah, backyard wrestling doesn't have that padding and shit.
Unless you're lucky enough to find some mattresses in the woods, like you're fighting on the dirt.
We used to fight on those fucking the pads that fucking football players use because luckily they left out the big pads out on the field. So when we went out for gym class in high school, like a couple buddies of mine all watch wrestling, and like we would have full on matches on the pads out there. Like, you know, take sweet chin music, fucking choke slamming each other, like bouncing off, like fun, like
Yeah, it was a good time.
All fun, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel good after.
Taking RKOs. My one guy liked to hit RKOs out of nowhere. He'd love Randy Orton. So he'd like hop up and just like fucking RKO. I'm like, you motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like go down, like fuck. Yeah, it's so fun. It was so fun.
You gotta know when it's coming.
Of course, we got off on a wrestling tangent on that one. I knew I was
We
going to
always
for like
do.
10 minutes.
There's nothing wrong with being a wrestling fan.
No, I'm sure some of our fucking podcast listeners like wrestling. Maybe, hopefully.
No, but if they don't, fuck you guys.
That's what this is, though. That's what we're here for. We talk about our shit.
Yeah, we're just here to bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Congo. That's what we were going on. Though.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Let's fucking divert back to that.
Let's go back to
let's go back before we got to the cracker hole place over there. They sent me up to Watertown, and on my drive down there from where I am, that's about 3.5 hour drive. I like listening to music on road trips, but usually when I'm with people, so I listen to podcasts on the way up there because I was like, it's a long ass drive.
It makes you feel like
it makes the drive go faster, you know what I mean? It's just, but I listen to Joe Rogan, and there is the one, I can't remember the guy's name, but I will put him in the link, and I'll put the link in the description for the podcast. You guys want to listen to it yourself. This guy was talking about, and it really depressed the fuck out of me for a while. I was gonna make a video on it myself when I was up there, but he was talking about how he basically snuck into places in the Congo, which is extremely dangerous from what he was doing, and he got video evidence, and he showed it on the podcast of these mines, and all these mines were supposed to be, I forget the term he used, but they were supposed to be free of any labor.
Yeah.
To go with slave labor, but they're supposed to be free of any child labor.
That's
specifically.
That's what they were told. That's what the head of the companies are told.
That's what the head of the companies are told, and they're supposed to be on the map or on the books as free of slave labor or any kind of child labor across the board.
Yeah.
And until you get down there, I think these, the CEOs and all these people, they have to know this. I don't think it's a secret, and that's what he tested to too. They have to know.
Yeah.
He'd be extremely surprised if they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But they're all down here at these mines, and it's all to mine for something called cobalt. Mm-hmm. And cobalt is the main, the main material that goes into making the batteries.
They cobalt the ore, and that's what gets mined. Into the wires and everything. That's your phone. Into
every phone company, any phone, no matter Apple, Samsung, any big phone, any phone company,
any electronic, to be honest.
Any major electronic, really, but any phone that we have today,
rechargeable batteries, everything,
is 100% useless without cobalt as the main source. And these companies overseas in the U.S. and everywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm not singling anyone out because they're all guilty of it.
Absolutely.
Basically, it pissed me off listening to this going down because like, as a human, like I know because I'm using this shit right now to record this video.
Yep.
And it makes me feel like a complete dickhead because I want to not use this phone to record this video after I listen to this podcast. And I'm like, something needs to be said about the shit that goes on there, because he was talking about how there's, women with children, like basically toddlers, 2-year-olds, like babies on their backs, holding them strapped to their fronts, and they're mining this shit. Yeah. And
half of them don't even have tools. They're literally digging
hundreds of thousands of these fucking people
shoulder
starving,
to shoulder, just with their hands.
And they don't get paid, like anything to survive. Not even enough to survive in the area they are. They're getting paid $1 a day, not a fucking hour, maybe $1 a day, to mine these fucking mines and just dig out this cobalt. Mm-hmm. And they're in these conditions of where you can watch the video. No, you're good. And there are these conditions to where, like you said, they're in fucking bare feet. It's just, they're starving to death. There's militia that literally, he talked about this in the, I don't know how far into it you listened, but
I didn't get that far.
He talked about how in order to go down there, you needed to know people. Like you needed to make sure you had connections, because if he didn't, he wasn't going to come back. And he made sure these people that he talked to, like, he had good trust. Like, this was months of research before he even got to the mines.
Yeah, he wasn't even allowed to go down. Yeah,
So he had to get the right connections and make sure the people he was putting his faith into were people he was willing to put his life into, because he needed them to survive once they got down there. And he trusted these people fully. And if it wasn't for these people, he wouldn't have survived. So there was this militia that, like, a few days into him being down in these mines, literally just shot up in the air. Like, literally opened fire in the air. And, like, everyone knows that, like, everyone in those mines, they fucking got down, you know what I mean? Like, they're not fucking moving, like, they know. And it was because they noticed this guy with a phone. And they noticed him, like, they don't want you recording down there because they don't want shit going out and getting out. Like, the whole thing with these things is they don't want these mines getting out there to know the conditions. Like,
exactly, because the governments are gonna.
And then it puts pressure on all the companies that buy from them and all the U.S. companies that buy the fucking cobalt for these prices.
I personally don't think they give a fuck.
I don't think but that's what makes me fucking sick, because I know these companies in the U.S. don't give a fuck as long as it stays secret.
Yeah, they love.
Once they get the attention of, like, hey, this is getting out there.
They'll just
fuck that.
Yeah, well, if even they do, like, it gets out there and they'll do like 5 seconds of it.
They'll get the pressure of the press,
and then they'll recover. They'll just put something else, something stupid, like, oh, hey, did you guys know Ellen DeGeneres is a cunt?
Oh yeah, they'll try to pivot.
And then they'll do like, if you take all the news stories, stations, and put them all aside, they're saying the exact same thing. They're each given the same fucking script.
Oh yeah, it's all how do I want to say it? It's all micromanaged to what they have to say. You know what I mean? Like, if that comes out, oh shit! I just popped my fucking remote. That was crazy. Sorry. It's all micromanaged. I'm playing with my remote here for the new
pop
light.
locking like the drunk at bar.
Yeah. It's all micromanaged what they're gonna say, and there was something that I forget the name of the paperwork that they told him after learning the territory for months before he went out there.
Yeah.
They told him, listen, if any militia or anything like that pops up, like, you need to have this paperwork on you. Like, if you don't, they're probably gonna fucking kill you on the spot, and they'll kill whoever you're with. Like, and he had this, I forget what it was called, but I'll put the link in the description. Listen to the podcast. He talks about it. It's not even like an hour into it. There's a piece of paperwork that says you need to have this before you go down to the mines, because if you don't, they're gonna fucking kill you if they notice you. And they said they shot in the air and they sprinted over to him and the group of people he was with. And they started saying all this shit, and they were trying to translate for him, you know what I mean, and, like, make sure that, like, nothing was gonna go crazy. And they, threw the backpacks off him and shit that they had, and they were throwing them around. And one of the guys that he was with grabbed the paperwork. He's like, he has one of these. Like, he has this fucking paper. Like, look at it. And, like, he was trying to tell him to look at it. And the fucking militia looked at it, and they fucking basically gave him, like, the nod and the warning to, like, don't fucking, you know what I mean, be seen around here, like, again, like, after he recorded.
Yeah, that was your.
And that was his fucking lifeline. Like, that, like, he was dead if he didn't have that shit on him.
Yeah, it's sad is that the people of the militia are the same, are like they're from the same villages in the country.
They're in the same shitty things.
It's almost like when, it's like, remember when, like, or like slavery, they always had, like, the one guy. You ever see what the fuck is that movie called? It's like, when you see a chain gang and you see one black dude with the shotgun. Like,
that's Django?
I don't know.
Okay, Django's a great movie with that, but
maybe it was the Green Mile. Like, he was all, he's like the white man's pet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Always snitching on all the other blacks.
Yeah.
But even though he's in the same predicament.
Django was like that with actually Samuel Jackson played that role.
But maybe that's not the best example. But, like,
I know what you mean.
But you're, like, enslaving your people.
Yeah. But here's the thing, they all chose a path because of the pressure they're under, which I can't blame the people in the militia for.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Having that role, because it was either that or they're going to be digging in the mines. Pretty fucking much. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I understand, but it still fucking sucks.
Either way, it's a fucking terrible. It's a travesty. It's fucking awful. It pissed me off on the way down because I was listening to this and I was like, I'm pissed off at that whole situation because I'm pissed off as us as humans too, because I know goddamn well that podcast is gonna rub a lot of people the same way, but we're so far into this technology-ridden era that none of us are gonna stop using our phones. None of us are gonna, because we're all dependent on it now. None of us are gonna stop using the Cobalt phones. That, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
that we need it to make. Like, there's not one of us is gonna do that,
Yes,
and it's like
technology is a great.
we're so dependent on it.
Yeah, technology is great, but like it's almost like at what cost of our humanity?
Yeah.
I know it's hypocritical because we're using technology. I love my phone, but at the same time, like you know what I mean. But it's almost like white guilt. I don't have any.
Here's the thing, though. This guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy that Joe Rogan was on this was telling, like, Joe Rogan asked him straight out towards the end of it. He was like, well, the last hour. It was like a 3.5-hour podcast. But he was like, towards the end of it, he was like, so what? It's like, this is like one of the heaviest podcasts I've ever fucking listened to. Because there's all these, literally, these people have fucking mutations and all this shit from digging in these mines, and it's just, it's literally grotesque. Like, it's ridiculous. It's disgusting. But he was saying, like, so what would we need to do to help out? He's like, one, realistically, it would even help if this got out there and it put the pressure on these people to pay them even something that was worth some kind of while. It's like you're paying them $1 a day, and a lot of them have families, and that's not going to feed them.
Yeah, you don't help it either with a lot of those women aren't even a lot of them just get raped and then get pregnant.
Yeah, it's like
you think you got it bad in America? Like
I fucking hate when people complain about life in America.
Like try go over there, and see how much your freedom is fucking worth. They don't.
You think you're fucking free in other countries? You think it's so much better there because like, your protection of your rights. Like people that complain about the U.S. today of like, oh, we're so oppressed and this and that. Like, you don't have the fucking slightest idea.
No. Like
you won the lottery. I say this to everybody. You're in America. As much as like there are improvements you could make in America, which is not perfect. No country is, but you won the lottery by being born in the United States. As soon as you were born, you won the fucking lottery. It's up to you to make a fucking success. And I understand there are other people that grew up poorer than others, and the hands they're dealt. Like neither one of us grew up fucking, rich like the fuck. Like I was lower middle class and then low class. You know what I mean? Then I was like low class when my parents got divorced, and I'm just working my way up now. It's like I'm still like I wear this, but I'm not fucking rich. I got this for free at my job because I worked there. Like this was Cracker Barrel.
Right. I remember.
You know what I mean? Like
it's
not rich.
I remember going to food banks.
Yeah, I shop at the fucking dollar store regularly still. Like you know what I mean? It's like you do what you got to do. It's like there's no shame in that shit. You make yourself in America. But in the fucking aspect of the people complain about it.
Yeah, talk about how capitalism is destroying this country.
Dude,
capitalism built that fucking.
Let me fucking tweet about it on my phone as capitalism is destroying the country.
As you tweet on
that fucking thing.
As you tweet it on your iPhone, drink your fucking Starbucks, and drive your fucking Volvo.
I hate capitalism, bitch.
Like you're sitting at a sheet, sweetheart.
I don't. Yeah,
like suck a dick.
I hate it. I hate when people complain about that shit.
You know how socialism worked? Go ask fucking the Nazis. Because socialism and fascism is the same.
It's the same. It's very almost indistinguishable.
Yeah,
when you apply it to a real population, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it never works. That's why it hasn't worked. Never worked for anybody else.
I hate. I hate when people complain.
Nobody wants to be. Nobody wants to be equal. Everyone just wants to be in charge.
Nobody wants to be equal, and that's what I hate today is like equality. Whenever there's an argument for equality, we're gonna get canceled here.
I don't care.
I love it. This is the thing. People argue it. Whenever there's an argument for equality, and I know if we're gonna get comments, it's gonna be because we're both white males.
Straight white males.
I don't care. Males. I've actually grown up historically.
That's right. I was born with a penis, and I'm proud.
Yeah.
I don't care how small.
I got a dick, and I'm Irish and German, so that makes me racist. I fuck 100%. Like, whenever there's an argument for equality today, it's always just
one with the
a focus on a specific group that isn't equality, it's just special attention.
Yeah, I'm all for equality.
I'm all for equality, but that's never what is actually argued, and that's what I fucking hate.
Yeah, it's always to make some. Yeah, you never notice anytime there's like a how do I say it? Anytime there's a movement, someone's always get rich by it.
Yeah, there's always some kind of.
Yeah, like I don't like
BLM.
Exactly. See, with I'm all for the message. You know
Same.
what I mean? I don't want homies getting shot on the streets by racist cops. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. Like, yeah, you should be suffering. Like, we should all be at least suffering together.
Yeah.
But if you just like break it down, I'm all for the message. But if you look at the people who were in charge, they got rich. They got rich off it. You got celebrities donating millions of dollars, and you know what they did? Instead of putting it into the program.
Yep.
They got fucking bought mansions over it.
There's a whole show. What the fuck is his name? Oh, I hate it. Oh, who is that guy? There's 2 shows.
I don't remember.
If you watch Brett Cooper, she's really good because she talks about this a lot. It's the same guy I brought up before in the podcast, and I should have fucking looked up his name because I didn't expect to go this direction with it. Him specifically. He was the one I talked about interviewing the furries before on the podcast.
Yeah, I just think they're weird people who like to be king.
This same guy got a lot of fucking media attention because he started calling out that, and he's actually, branched off at Candace Owens. That's somebody who branched off it. She has a show.
Who gave her the fuck a show?
She should be because she was the one. She's historically she's a black woman, Candace Owens, and she was the one that was calling out this whole Black Lives Matter movement as a basically a farce in terms of all this money that you're talking about. The funding is going towards this other shit.
Yeah,
there was billions of dollars donated to this.
They only want to protest,
and they only put a fucking fraction towards of anything to do with that. It was all private funds, and it all went to other outsources.
Yeah.
And she literally made because she made a show on it, and it's literally finding out where all these outsourcing things went to.
Yeah, went to their pockets.
Yeah, and she made a show on it. I don't know what
you made money off your
where it's streamed.
You got rich off your own people.
But
if
you know what that show's called, leave a comment. Fucking comment that because I can't remember what it's called. But it's releasing. It's like a recent show. If it just started or got started recently.
Why do I know her from something different, something more negative?
She popped. She's actually really sound of mind, which I did a reaction on her when the pandemic started with the whole George Floyd thing.
Yeah, I don't think the man's a hero.
He's that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I don't.
Like I understand it. Like started a movement.
It did, but
he's still a drug addict who got popped.
He had a huge.
He just so happened.
He had a huge record behind him.
Yeah, he just so happened to be at the wrong place, the wrong time, and honestly, the wrong fucking cop. People like that, they should be removed from the forces.
Yeah, no, because how that cop handled.
He should have been gone like a long time ago.
Yeah, how that cop handled that entire situation. I think this 2 years fucking later now.
It's just poor training. That's just a bully with a badge.
That's an asshole that needed a power trip. He's a fucking racist prick. The asshole needed a power trip, and he fucking took a guy's life into his own hands, and he should have been fired way before, like you said.
Yeah, there's so many discussions against him.
Not defending the cop whatsoever. I understand, like you said, that his death, George Floyd started a movement, which I understand the sentiment behind the movement. I get it. I don't think he was a hero, like you said again, because that man had a huge record under his fucking belt. There wasn't even it was drugs, but it was related with like fucking past exes, and like it had to do with like pregnancy involved, with like him being abusive towards them, and it was a whole record like down the line. So not like I don't think he didn't fit the bill as the martyr that he was portrayed as, but they made him a martyr.
They made him one.
That being said, I get the sentiment behind the movement, so I was fully in support of it. But then I knew all this funding was not going to go anywhere towards this movement.
Yeah, if you ever pay attention to it, the only time the news shows a protest is when a white cop kills a black person, but they don't talk about all the gang violence within the community.
Yeah,
there's no black. Where's BML when a homie kills another one?
Black on black.
Exactly.
or any minority on minority. It's never there.
Yeah.
It's white on minorities.
Yeah. Well, that's how they keep the anger going. You know what I mean? If we're focused on being mad, hating this
We'll
one,
see if we get canceled on this one.
and you know what I mean? We're too busy fucking focusing on hating each other.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what they do. Like I come from a mixed race family.
I say this like people. There are shitty people. It's people across the fucking board. Yeah. It's not a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, but the media turns it into a place to where they, like you said, pit us against each other.
Exactly. And then once, like, if we all just
hate it.
Yeah. And then
fucking hate it.
They keep, but it's just like, it's the same play. They keep using that race factor.
Yeah. Because it fucking works. Because we're not evolved enough to see through it.
Yeah.
As a fucking species.
We're a little bit. I think we've gotten a lot better in the last like 40 years.
Oh, over the last 40 years, yeah. But like I think the majority are still like, even though they're like, oh, they're putting us against each other, but they still buy into it at the same fucking time.
Exactly.
They still hate the other half of the population.
Yeah, like you're not like we should all be empowering each other.
Yeah. Like
the second we stop focusing on each other's differences and focus on what we have in common, the government will fall. Because then they can't fuck. They got no. It takes all the power away from them.
Fuck off.
Because then they got nothing. They got no race. They can't make us target each other through religion. Like once we accept everyone's different. Everyone's not equal.
Yep.
We can get a move along. And it's just it is what it is. And they've been playing the same power card since fucking dawn of humanity. Since government's been around. Like you even fall back to like times of Greece. Still same fucking power play. Every single time.
Yeah.
And it's like it gets old. It's really old. Like I've met some pretty decent like black people. I worked with a black person. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Funniest, nicest dude in the world.
Yeah.
Thinks with his dick, but he's other than that, he's a
Oh, he thinks with his dick, but he's hilarious though. He's one of my favorite fucking people. I'm not gonna lie.
I love working with him. Such a great guy.
And this sounds like we're like defending this like now, like that we're not. No. Like no. I've actually I've historically I had two really good friends in high school, but the majority of the people in my neighborhood were not white.
No, I grew up in majority.
Yeah, and I made friends with every fucking buddy. Like in my neighborhood, like at school, I didn't. Like I was friends with two people at school, but everyone that lived around me, like that I saw around the block, because I wasn't around the block. Like you know what I mean? I went around. Like I didn't stay in the house.
I had a hard time.
I made friends with a lot of people. Luckily, I didn't get because there was a few. I'm not gonna lie, there was a few drug busts around my
I didn't get along. I didn't get along with any of them. You know, because you get kind of stuck to their own. But I grew up in a rough neighborhood.
Well, I was always a fucking outgoing person.
You don't socially with you don't really.
Well, I think
with the whitey. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, see,
but they never.
There was a mix, but there was more. There was less whiteys in mine. I think for you, you were the whitey.
I was whitey.
You were the whitey.
Yeah.
Which is
for the most part.
I understand.
And honestly, it kind of the way they acted in those neighborhoods, it kind of discouraged me for me. You know, and it doesn't help. Like I didn't know racism until later on.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand. Like when I was a kid, you don't understand. Like you don't understand racism, and I always got along with whoever wanted to hang out.
And it
was never a skin thing until later on. It's like these guys are fucking assholes. Like I don't know why they're fucking bugging me for it. But
you said something that I want to fucking wrap up on.
I'm just rambling at this point.
No, this is good because I didn't expect it to go this long.
That's good because we had no material.
No, we had no idea what we were gonna go into.
No material.
I had two things I had planned. I was like, I don't know where we're gonna go.
When you sobered up, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
You said two things that you were talking about, judgment, and it got me. Like you guys don't know. I was like, so cultural appropriation. Now this is something that I heard about.
You're using big words there, Mike.
I'm sorry. I know. Cultural appropriation. No, this is
just in case people at home don't know what that means.
I hate this though because they use it today as a weapon anymore. And growing up, like there was a girl, like I saw an interview the other day, and it was this girl being interviewed, and she was like, so, when I was growing up, like I saw this, you know, girl point out my braids, and this was, she was a colored girl, and she was like, point out my braids and this and that, and how I was like pointing out like, oh, like your hair like this, and this is so unique, and this and that, and back then, she was taught that like it was kind of the sentiment in school of like, oh, you're being pointed out, and she kind of felt like, oh, I don't like to be the attention, you know what I mean, center of attention. I'm different. This is bad.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh yeah, if you have braids, you're black.
Now
you're
today,
trying to appropriate.
Today, that's how they teach it. It's like, oh, you're pointing out a difference. I feel like America, the whole point of a melting pot and of a mosaic, however you want to fucking call it, was you're supposed to point out these differences and
embrace them
into a culture.
Yeah.
What the fuck they're doing?
Yeah, that's what America is.
If you point out a difference and you try to celebrate it, it's like, oh, you can't point her out. You can't point them out for being different. That's appropriation. That's bad. Why is it a negative thing? I don't understand why that's a negative. Like, we're like saying you're unique. Like this is let's bring this into the culture. You're unique. Look at this. This is a new thing. Let's celebrate it as a whole. You know what? I don't understand. Now it's always negative. Like you can't point people out for being different. And if you do, if you point out something that they find to be of value or they love, it's a negative fucking aspect.
You have to edit it. I got 4 minutes on it. I'll restart. I'll start another one, but.
Oh no, you're good.
Good. I just want to keep an eye on it because my clock only does a 60 minutes, so like.
Yeah. No, we're good.
I'll add to it. I'll have to stop it and then I'll add again, but.
Okay.
But we're in a roll, so go ahead.
No, that's all I was. I was gonna say like I don't understand if you have anything to add to that. I don't understand the whole appropriation part of it. Like I don't.
I'm just so over it.
It's just
like it's not even
like I want everyone to fuck. It sounds really cliche, but I want everyone to just fucking like, bro, get the fuck along. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
like I don't care who you are, who you came from. I want to like learn about it. At least I don't care about it, but I want to learn about it.
Yeah.
And I want to like embrace everything, but everyone, whenever you try to point out differences and embrace it, it turns into an insult today. And I'm like, fuck it. Like what? Like I can't point out a difference because I'm interested in like where you came from. Like okay, then fuck it. I won't mention that your braids are nice. Like like I don't understand.
That's that liberal woke bullshit. It's like everyone wants to be equal. We're not equal.
It's like when there's videos like on the internet, people try to wear sombreros and like everyone that's not Mexican. And like they wear a sombrero and a like fucking outfit, and they ask everyone's not Mexican is like that's kind of offensive.
Yeah,
but then they talk to a Mexican and they're like, "Oh, that's a cool outfit," and they don't give a fuck. I'm like, that's the point. Like, embrace it. Like, why are you guys dickheads? I don't get it.
It's only the far left. It's one of those things where they don't want equality. They want power.
Why are you getting offended on other people's behalves?
Yeah, they don't seem mad. They're drinking the Corona with me.
Yes, they don't give a fuck. Like, they're happy to be talking, like, to me. You know what I mean? Like, we're having a good conversation as humans. Like, we're relating to each other.
America's built on variety of cultures. And that's what
that was the whole point.
That's what makes America so great. It's like it's not stolen.
We're not supposed to be splitting these individual pieces.
They came here. People came here for a better life, and they bring their culture with them. It's only fair to embrace that fucking culture.
Yes, sir.
You ever go down south and eat the food? It's fucking delicious.
It's great.
It's so good. Like I've been like because I live down south a bit. Like I've had things I've never eaten before up north.
Yeah.
Like here it's more like meat and potatoes. Yeah. But because that's the only thing that grows up in the cold ass. But you go down there and have some shit cooked right.
Yeah.
Or even go like New Orleans, have some good old fucking Cajun. That's what I'm talking about when you like embrace that shit.
Embrace all the fucking differences.
I just think food. I think everyone happy if we all got stoned and ate some shit.
Yes, sir.
Except Karen, who puts raisins in potato salad. For the record, white people don't do that. That's the suburban mom bullshit because their kids are spoiled. You don't fucking do that.
That was a trigger.
I've never seen that in my life. So I know it's a run-on joke, that they make fun of us for. I've never seen in my life. And if you put you put such a product in a potato salad, I would ask you nicely to not show up.
To leave.
Just please leave and leave your shit there. I swear to God.
Holy shit.
Onion celery. That's fucking it. Like that. Like. All right.
No, you're good.
The raisin thing bothers me.
So we can do the wrap up afterwards. You're gonna have to stop this. So in a couple seconds, this can keep going. I'm gonna keep you guys here. You're gonna have to stop this in like 3 seconds and then back up it. So
yeah, the fucking raisin.
As we do this, we went over our time on the recording for Spotify. So
let me see.
Please stand by. This is only exclusive YouTube content right now. You're not gonna get this part on Spotify. Yeah. So these like 25 to 30 seconds. This is intense right now. See how we're making eye contact? I sobered up during this conversation.
Me too. I'm all amped now.
I'm all amped, me too. Talking about potato salad and shit.
Yeah,
I'm hungry now.
Okay, all right, we could go again.
We're back live on Spotify.
Like the fucking, it's something. It's definitely upper class suburban moms. I think they're just trying to be catchy and healthy.
Yeah,
Listen,
probably.
If you show up to my house with raisins or craisins in your potato salad, with all due respect, I will ask you to throw that shit out and never come back to my home again. Never bring anything in my home. Because clearly you have no concept of flavor. It's fucking disgusting. It looks nice. No, it doesn't, Karen. It doesn't look nice. It's gross. You don't need it.
You're ruining something that was already...
You're ruined. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. As someone who's... I'm going to say it. My mother makes the best potato salad on the fucking planet. It's delicious. I've never heard a complaint.
Yeah.
She don't put fucking raisins in it.
I don't even eat potato salad that much, and I'm like a fake Irish person in that one because I'm supposed to be half Irish, and I'm not a fan of potato salad, but I know you don't put fucking raisins in it.
Yeah, if you make it just right, everyone loves potato salad. And I don't want to hear, I don't eat everybody potato salad. Yeah, but you suck random guys' dicks.
What is it about putting raisins in already good dishes that they want to fucking ruin it?
I'm telling you, it's upper class suburban moms.
What the fuck is so upper class about a fucking raisin?
Nothing. I think
it's a dried grape.
I think it's just their way of trying to make it healthier. Sweetheart, it's potatoes, onions, and carrots slathered in mayonnaise and other... I don't know what everyone else puts in their
potato salad. You want healthy? Get a fucking regular salad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, chew on some fucking romaine.
Eat your fucking lettuce. Bite your fucking carrot stick.
Yeah, right.
Get out my face.
Don't ruin something that's perfect.
It's not to say I don't like salads, but don't try to give me potato salad and then be like, it's a healthier version. I don't want that. I don't even eat it that much, but I know when I eat it, I don't want that.
Like, this is a barbecue. If your face ain't covered in barbecue...
Your dressing is mayonnaise, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin a good thing. We didn't come to barbecue to eat healthy. We came to fuck some shit up and eat good, and then worry about it later.
Yeah.
You ruin the barbecue.
You want to ruin shit?
I know it's a
run. Raisins.
I know it's a run-on joke because I'm on Facebook and I hear it all the time. They put raisins. The white people, they don't know how to season their food and put raisins in it. Upper class white people ruin that. And it's disgusting.
Listen.
As a white man, you will never see that in my home.
My mom ever finds this podcast. God. I hope she doesn't because she's going to be really mad at me about the next thing I'm going to say.
She put raisins in her food?
No. No. I love you if you find this. Let me just preempt with that one. This is his last will. You were a working class. Holy shit. When you guys got divorced, you were a single mom and you worked 2 jobs to pay for that apartment. I love you to death for that. You know you can't cook. I'm so sorry.
Try as you might. It's okay.
I love you to death. No, okay. There are certain things that I love, Missouri. When you make that shit, that's good. Pot pie's not bad, but you don't know. My brother and I, like our dad was the cook. My brother and I would see, like, she'd put stuff in the crock pot, and like I said, she was I can't. I don't even want to like to do this shit because I talk shit on it because I'm not talking shit because I literally worked 2 jobs, but like she'd put something in the crock pot for us to do, and you know what I mean, like so it would be ready for us.
Yeah.
She did that, like it was something to eat. And I was like, you know what I mean. She was I fucking love.
Yeah.
She's a saint.
Yeah, I've never.
Like
I've
I'm
always
not
had them
complaining. I'll never complain. I don't want you to think that.
Absolutely not, man.
But in terms of like that, like we seasoned it. Like we would go in there, you know, be like, I know we're gonna put some garlic powder. What do we have in the drawer? I'm gonna put this in there. Like we seasoned the shit. Like after she put it in the crock pot, you know what I mean? Like I know, like we always try to like add some water, add some juice to it, make sure it didn't dry out. You know what I mean? Like we were the ones messing with like whether it was a pot roast or whatever the fuck she had going, or pork, you know what I mean, pork or whatever.
Yeah, either way, you ate that night, so
we ate it. Like that's what I didn't give a shit. I don't want to. I'm not talking shit on you, Mom. If you ever find this, I love you to death. I said it already, but like, I can't appreciate you enough for through those times. I was like, she doesn't get enough appreciation. I've told that before.
Yeah, moms don't get enough appreciation at all.
For what she dragged us through, like 2 kids, basically single mom. You know, right? Especially after my dad did what he did. Like, you know, like.
Heard.
It was just, I love you, but it was one of those things to where like no, but cooking wise though, it was like. Yeah, no, she knows. It's like she knows.
I'm sure she knows. Yeah.
You know, there are some things you make good, but like you know, Dad was the cook. Like he always got out of work at 3:00. He went in 2 hours earlier. You got out at 5. He had dinner made most of the time anyway. You know what I mean. He made chili or he grilled or whatever. It was one of those things where he was always a seasoner and she really wasn't. Like. It was far past to use salt and pepper for certain shit. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's
all you need, but like, yeah, I'm gonna rest it there because I don't want to. I don't think she's ever gonna find this, but if she does,
yeah,
don't fucking kill me. But yeah, it's late.
Getting late.
Sir, we're gonna wrap this up so you're not up all the way until your kid is ready to go about and.
Yeah.
You only get like 2.5 hours until then.
That's okay. I'm just back up tomorrow, so like it's cake.
Yeah.
I need to do shit in my fucking sleep.
I literally thought this was gonna be. All right, you're gonna hear that on the podcast. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
he was doing 0 to 80 and holy shit.
Yeah, they do that. I hate this street sometimes. They just haul ass.
Yeah.
I hope they hit a fucking pole. Sometimes they hit that pole.
You say a pot? Fuck you, I hit a pot. I almost died last week. Going 80 on the highway.
Yeah, but did you die?
But did you die? Was that a hangover?
Yeah.
Fucking chow. Oh my god. Alright. Jesus Christ. But did you die?
No, it was a finger, asshole.
On that note.
We can't find our brother-in-law.
Perfect ending to this bullshit of a podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Went all over the board.
The
Last of Us to Cobalt to cooking and holy shit. All right. Being drunk again.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Fuck.
Saddy Daddy's tired.
Magic Mike and Saddy Daddy. Holy fuck. So leave a like, subscribe, comment, share wherever you can on any social media platform.
Yeah.
I'll put TikTok in the description, Instagram, Snapchat, fucking.
Yeah, don't be shy to throw some titty pits in there.
If you want to, you know, I'm not going to deny
it. It helps the morale. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. It's like that guy that
we'll rate them
tried to tell us that anything even better than titties is telling me that wrestling is fake.
You won't let that go, will you?
I'm sorry. We're true wrestling fans. You know what gets under our skin.
It doesn't even bother me.
It doesn't actually bother me. It's just I've heard it enough throughout my entire life. All the way through grade school, all the way up through high school, all the way through college, even now.
Understand.
You know, wrestling is fucking know.
No
but like, subscribe, favorite. You share on other social media platforms. The guy that's telling me all this shit and telling us this. We're like I said, I'll have all the links in the description. I'll put the link to the Joe Rogan podcast. If you want to listen to that, and I'll put that guy's name in there because I can't remember his name. But if you want to get really depressed, lose faith in humanity, and maybe make a change in your life, I know we probably won't because we're also dependent on this technology. That's how I'm recording this fucking thing right now. But if you want to listen to it, I'll put that in the description too. The 10th edition. I guess it's only right that their 10th edition goes over a fucking hour.
It's true.
An hour and 8-minute podcast. Well, we'll see you on the next one, and I'll have The Last of Us uploaded for you, that instant review. and reaction that I had going. And this will go up within the next few days. So, Magic Mike and Saddy Daddy.
So we're going with? You're going with Magic Mike?
I'm going Magic Mike. Was my first nickname in my work, and it makes sense.
If Caucasian Bucket don't work out, at least you could be a stripper.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see where this goes. If I can get more subscribers, I won't have to strip.
Yeah.
Signing out till next time. Out.